Sunday morning light softly shine through. We're wrapped up in the moment, just me and you. Coffee's brewing slow, the world's still at ease. Cove TV's on, just the sun, us and the trees. Waking big beside you, feeling so complete. With every gentle touch, our love so sweet. Cannabis in the air, lifting up our souls, taking it slow, letting the good vibes roll. You and me and the morning haze, Cove TV's on. In our lazy days, the first hit of the day sets our hearts ablaze. Making big love in the soft sun's rays. Cannabis kisses, smoke rings in the air. Sunday mornings with you, nothing can compare. The warmth of your smile, the calm of the breeze. Our favorite strains whisper through the trees. Every puff we take, every song we hear, Cove TV's playing and it all feels clear. A love so deep in this quiet place. With a bowl in hand we find our space. Cannabis and coffee in the morning light. Wake and bake together, everything feels right. You and me and the morning haze, Cove TV's on. In our lazy days, the first hit of the day sets our hearts ablaze. Making big love in the soft sun's rays. Cannabis kisses, smoke rings in the air. Sunday mornings with you, nothing can compare. The world slows down just for a while. Cannabis dreams and your gentle smile. Cove TV playing our favorite shows. With every hit, our connection grows. It's the little moments, the quiet and the slow. In your eyes I see everything I need to know. You and me and the morning haze, Cove TV's on. In our lazy days, the first hit of the day sets our hearts ablaze. Wake and bake love in the soft sun's rays. Cannabis kisses, smoke rings in the air. Sunday mornings with you, nothing can compare. So here we are in our Sunday best. Wake and bake mornings, feeling so blessed. Cannabis love, Cove TV's glow. With you by my side, it's all I need to know.
Sunday morning, let the world slow down. Cove TV's on, feeling good all around. The sun's rising soft, casting gold on the sea. Cannabis clouds swirling, just you and me. Got the coffee brewed and the herb packed tight. A gentle breeze blowing, everything's right. We're taking it slow, no need to rush. Just a Sunday morning with a peaceful hush. Sunday morning slow jams on Cove TV. Waking and baking, feeling so free. Smooth jazz playing with an R&B groove. Cannabis dreams set the mood and soothe. Let the morning unfold, let the good vibes stay. Sunday morning slow jams, it's our getaway. Hammock swinging easy, palm tree sway. Smoking in the cove, watching worries drift away. With every soft hit, we're lifted high. underneath the blue of the tropical sky. The saxophone's calling, the rhythm's just right. With Cove TV mornings, everything's light. From the sand to the sea, we're floating along. Sunday morning slow jams, where we all belong. Sunday morning slow jams on Cove TV. Waking and baking, feeling so free. Smooth jazz playing with an R&B groove. Cannabis dreams set the mood and soothe. Let the morning unfold, let the good vibes stay. Sunday morning slow jams, it's our getaway. The ocean's humming and the music's slow. With every little talk, let the moments flow. Cove TV's here to start the day right. Sunday morning slow jams, feeling so right. Let the morning slow jams on Cove TV. Waking and baking, feeling so free. Smooth jazz playing with an R&B groove. Cannabis dreams set the mood and soothe. Let the morning unfold, let the good vibes stay. Sunday morning slow jams, it's our getaway. So here's to Sunday, the Cove's soft embrace. Smoking and relaxing in our happy place. With cannabis love and the sunrise gleam. Sunday morning slow jams, living the dream.
Sun's rising, slow paint skies with gold. Coffee in hand, the stories unfold. This ain't just a show, it's where hearts align. A place to unwind, where peace we find. Cannabis drifts on the morning breeze, bringing calm to the mind, setting souls at ease. Together we gather, no need to pretend. The Cove's where the day and good vibes begin. Come on in, let the love unfold.
Come on in, let it unfold.
In the warmth of community, hearts turn gold.
Hearts turn gold.
The Cove is more than a show on display.
More than a show.
It's a place to belong, where we start the day.
We start the day.
So rise with the sun, let the blessings flow.
Let it flow.
With coffee and peace, we let the spirit grow. Some come to laugh, some come to share. Every story told shows someone's care. We lift each other, hand in hand. Through life's storms, together we stand. The circle's wide, there's room for all. No judgment here, just love's gentle call. Every morning's a chance to reset, renew. To breathe, to heal, and see life through. Come on in, let the love unfold.
Come on in, let it unfold.
In the warmth of community, hearts turn gold.
Hearts turn gold.
The Cove is more than a show on display.
More than a show.
It's a place to belong, where we start the day.
We start the day.
So rise with the sun, let the blessings flow.
Let it flow.
With coffee and peace, we let the spirit grow. It's where hearts connect.
Hearts connect.
Where hope is planted and love takes effect.
Love takes effect.
A sacred space where kindness flows.
Kindness flows.
And every soul finds a place to grow.
Let's grow.
Come on in, let the love unfold.
Come on in, let it unfold.
In the warmth of community, hearts turn gold.
Hearts turn gold.
The Cove is more than a show on display.
More than a show.
It's a place to belong where we start the day.
We start the day.
So rise with the sun, let the blessings flow.
Let it flow.
With coffee and peace, we let the spirit grow.
Good, beautiful, chillin' Sunday morning, everybody. How's everybody's morning going? Good morning, Man-Bear.
Good morning.
Ooh, duh.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody. Good Sunday morning, my beautiful Amber. How are you? Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful morning.
Good morning, Crystal. What's going on?
Good morning, Ma. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, Deb Rose. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Kay. How are you? Hope you're having a wonderful morning. I'm sorry you didn't get much sleep. I saw that. Sorry.
What's going on, Superman Bill Anderson? What's up, man? Happy Sunday.
Good morning, CJ. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, Vicki.
Good morning, Christina. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, Ashley Stevens. How are you doing? Love her Sundays. Loves.
Good morning, Nikki. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. How's everybody's morning going so far?
A little lack of oxygen, but I'm good.
All right, so we got another Sunday morning song. I would like to dedicate this one to all of our amazing viewers. Much love, much love. We couldn't do this without you. And Sunday mornings, there's something special here in the Cove. I mean, every time special in the Cove, but cheers, everybody.
Each voice in the Cove, a light that shines. A tapestry woven through shared designs. Every comment, every laugh, a third unique. You're the heart of this place, the soul we seek. Without your spark, it wouldn't feel whole. You bring the rhythm, you bring the soul. In this Cove, with feet in the sand, together we rise, together we take this stand. Coffee brews as the morning glows. Cannabis sparks where the calmness flows. Connections build a shared embrace. Community thrives in this sacred space. Sip the warmth, let the rhythm start. Feel the peace within your heart. A bond so strong, a joy so true. Coffee, cannabis, and community too. The Cove's alive with love and light. A family bound by vibes so bright. unshaken, a truth we know. We've built a haven, a sacred space, where laughter and kindness fill every place. With every smile, our roots run deep. In the Cove, our love is ours to keep. Coffee brews as the morning glows. Cannabis sparks where the calmness flows. Connections build a shared embrace. Community thrives in this sacred space. Community thrives in this sacred space.
Much love, everybody. Happy Sunday morning.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, Beans. I like it.
Much love. All right, what are we looking at for time here?
Lots.
We are 8 minutes out. I'm not crying. You're crying. You're great, Ma. That's
I'm crying. You're crying.
the score. The sky is incredible this morning. I love this one. Morning update for Sunday morning, January 12th, 2020 something or another. Much love to everybody that came out to the open studio. Well, first of all, much love to all the dodgeball teams that won. Let's go Blazers. The Troopers and the Guardians are on bye week this week, so they will not play yesterday or Thursday. We'll see them next week. Much love to everybody that came out to the open studio show last night. That was a lot of fun. I always like being able to just kind of kick back and open it up and let everybody hang and chill. I know we got lots of stuff's always going on, so it's nice to not have something going on, so then everybody can kind of just do their own thing. This morning, Chillin Sunday Morning, we'll do our This Day in History and our morning speaker, and then we'll do some Chillin Sunday Morning music, as usual. Europe Nanigans this morning, and then next Sir Cost-a-Lot show this afternoon. Europe Away tonight. There is still time to get in on your Europe Away entry, so make sure you go and do that. I do have a raffle open on the Cove TV page for 2 pendants and a set of earrings. It's $5 a spot for 10 spots. Payable through Cash App. Make sure that you comment on the original post, please. Man-Bear, what you got?
What? We're live? What? Oh, hey, everybody. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Chillin Cove TV. Sorry, man. I missed my spot. I missed my timing so up. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, man. Everything's great today. I'm so excited. Dodgeball started off so good this year. Apparently my move was a good move. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Hey, good morning, Smoka. How are you, man? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Oh, and I don't know how I feel about the "this is your creation" comment. I feel like this is all of our creation. The Cove is everybody. Dang it. Quit pointing fingers at me. I don't like it.
Like you say, man, without you guys, man, we wouldn't have all this amazing stuff to show you, man. You guys are really what, it's not us, it's all of us. It's you know what I mean? Like, that's the best way to put it. It's all of us, man.
For reals, I could trade all of this shit and like do everything and just sit here by myself and do it, and it wouldn't be the same. It would be garbage.
But it's not. And you're all awesome. And you make us awesome. And we make you awesome. You make us awesome. And let's awesome this Sunday up.
Yeah, we are 4 minutes out. Make sure that you are grinding up, packing up, loading up, rolling up, coffeeing up, Sunday morning, chilling up slowly. I don't know.
I lit this a while ago. It don't count.
I been just hitting nectin collecting like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And,
You're when you drip that thing back out, Dude, when
That's
you drip
dope.
that thing.
Cornbread. Hopefully I can hopefully I'll get when mine
Shit.
should be coming too shortly.
That's awesome.
Hey, I don't mind that so much, Bill. I like that. But it's not just me. It's everybody that's on the Cove team. Hey, good morning, Jersey Meg. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. 3 minutes out. Oh, snap. Something else to add on to the fucking morning update. The Cove is like 7 followers away from 1,500 followers.
Oh, shit.
Say what? I know. That's fucking wild, right?
And also did our awesome, amazing Sir Coslet not just... Did he not just go to 14? I'm pretty sure he just went to 14.
Did he roll over?
Yep.
He was, what, 1 or 2 a fucking away?
I'm pretty sure that I have a screenshot of the 1,400.
He's at 14?
And I know who the 1,400th is. Yeah. Oh, should I tell you? Should I be
know.
Maybe I should let him tell him.
Yeah, wait, let him tell it. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking as soon as I was saying it. I was like, you know what? I'll let him do it. He was really excited because the only thing I will say is he was, like you said, he was at like 1398, 1399 for like a few days. And he's like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, come on.
It's just crazy. I couldn't even imagine the Cove being at 1,500 followers by now. That's fucking wild. That shit blows me.
I remember when we were like, it was like 11 something going to 12, I think, or something like that. Like I was like not
2 minutes out, bro. I remember when it was just me up here, like before you started coming up, and after Roach, didn't come up as much as he did or whatever. And then, like I always say to any streamers, show people, podcasts, whatever, just don't give up. Just don't stop. Yeah. Even if there's no viewers. Shit, there's some mornings where there's still no. I don't shit for viewers. I remember, so the first 7 people getting stoned words. The first 7 comments getting stoned words. Yeah. And I remember mornings when like there wasn't even enough people commenting for me to getting stoned words. Okay, that's 7 words. So like I remember like giving K one and Ma one and like Amber one and somebody else one, and then Nicole having to fill out the rest of them. You know what I mean? Or like whoever it was. And so like. Just consistency, determination. Just don't try your damnedest not to give up.
Just like the Kodiak Kings, consistency is king.
I'll say that when you start saying fucking Red Cobras # first placers.
Never gonna happen. I'll give you a pass on you not having to say that consistency is king when it references me and my amazing Kodiak Kings, but. You can say it in other conversations. I'll allow it. No patent pending.
I want to say that sustained overruled is the term.
Oh shit! This ain't no court of law, bitch, man. Fucking. Happy 420.
Happy 420, everybody. Much love. Much love. Cheers.
Did you say love or love?
Pam or Pam? Pam?
The morning light, it finds my face. A quiet moment, a sacred space. I roll it slow. With smoke arise, a prayer sent out to open skies. Inhale the calm, exhale the pain. Each breath a balm like a gentle rain. It's more than a ritual, it's how I feel whole. This isn't for escape, it's for my soul. I smoke for my soul to find my peace. Where the worry cease. Each breath I take brings a healing light. I smoke for my soul, it feels so right. With every choke, I hear the call. us all. From the cove's embrace to this morning's glow, together we rise, together we grow. The herbs are blessing, the coffee's divine, a communion of hearts, a sacred time. Inhale the truth, let the spirit flow, for in this moment we truly know. I smoke for my soul to find my peace, a moment of grace where the worry cease. Each breath I take brings a healing light. I smoke for my soul, it feels so right. Herb, this ancient gift, brings my heart a needed lift. In the smoke, my prayers ascend, a healing power that will never end. I smoke for my soul to find my peace, a moment of grace where the worry cease. Each breath I take brings a healing light. I smoke for my soul, it feels so right.
I'm not crying. You're crying. I'm not. Oh, okay. I'm crying a little.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a minute. Cheers. I'm so sorry.
The morning's here, the horizon glows. With every comment, a connection grows. Coffee steam rises, a comforting sight. Your smiles, your vibes make the day feel right. The Cove awakens, together we shine. Each of you here is a blessing divine. Cannabis sparks and the laughter flows. In this sunrise moment, the magic shows. Wake up with you, it's a beautiful start. The Cove's a place that's close to my heart. Each voice, each laugh, a melody true. Sunrise sessions wouldn't shine without you. Through every dawn, we've built this bond. A family of light, stretching far and beyond. Rolling the herb, sharing the brew. Moments like this feel sacred with you. The rhythm of life, gentle and kind, echoes in hearts with peace intertwined. Together we stand as the morning breaks. A sunrise with you is all it takes. Wake up with you, it's a beautiful start. The Cove's a place that's close to my heart. Each voice, each laugh, a melody true. sessions wouldn't shine without you. Wake up with you, it's a beautiful start. The Cove's a place that's close to my heart. Each voice, each laugh, a melody true. Sunrise sessions wouldn't shine without you. Every smile you share, every story told, a treasure we hold, more precious than gold. You lift the light, you brighten the way. The Cove feels alive with you every day. Wake up with you, it's a beautiful start. The Cove's a place that's close to my heart. Each voice, each laugh, a melody true. Sunrise sessions wouldn't shine without you.
Good morning, everybody. So what is it we got going on there, Chillin Sunday Morning? Yeah, that was so super duper baked beans. Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty baked man-bear right now. I had to take a sweater off. Whew. And my hat. Whew. Yeah, I'm good. You good? I'm good. Whew. That was quite the bacon wake. That's what you call it, right? The bacon wake?
yes, something.
Well, because you're more baked than awake. So it's the baked and then awake. And that time, yes, I was crying. That was totally me. I was definitely, there was water. What is this liquid coming out of my eyes? Huh. Whew. I forgot nose dabs in the morning. They hit
Dude,
you,
that's an
man.
amazing way. I feel like Mondays and Sundays are really good days to do lots of nose dabs in the morning. Because Sunday you can get super baked and not do nothing. Mondays you can get super baked and get a bunch of shit done.
Yeah.
Much love.
Much love. I was talking to one of the guys I'm working with now, and I was like, I got to tell you about how Nose Dab Nation started, Nose Dab Mafia.
Booyah, Kasha Magic. Good morning. I hope you're having a tabulous morning, my brother.
Don't mind him. He's been doing lots of nose dabs this morning. He's good. He's good. So I was trying to tell him about Nose Dab Nation and Nose Dab Mafia, and I was like, man, this started out of a joke. We were like, oh, we should do a nose dab. We were all like, F that. And then we all did one. And he's like, what happened? And I was like, we realized it was smooth and dangerous. And they just kind of snowballed from there. And now there's Nose Dab Mafia. There's I mean, shit.
Nose Dab Nation is cool. But Nose Dab Mafia is where it's at.
Yeah, Nose Dab Nation Strikes Again was like when we were posting reels and stuff, and it was just like the moniker of like, yeah, Nose Dab Nation. Like, so that's what Shadow said first. Shadow said Nose Dab Nation NDN right after we did like our first like nose dabs. That was like day one. So that's why I always put that hashtag Nose Dab Nation, hashtag Nose Dab Nation Strikes Again. But yeah, Nose Dab Mafia for life. Nose Dab Mafia for life.
Oh shit.
Well, every man-bear. Pardon? What do you got?
Oh, well, it looked like a sunrise, but it was fake as a mother trucker.
Oh, I hate fake muddy truckers.
Same with this. It's a loop.
Oh my god! Don't get him started on loops. Don't you get him started. I seen one day he's like, I seen the loop.
Yeah,
some
dude.
Bird or something. He's like, nah, that ain't gonna fly with Beanz.
You'd be surprised how many sunsets you can find versus sunrises.
So you're saying that people are up later than earlier?
People appreciate sunsets more, and I don't agree with it.
I think because it's a different I think it's because, like, for the sun sets, I think it's the whole representation of your day ending. You know, the calmer, mellower
Fuck this day.
time
I'm
of
glad
the
it was
day.
done. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know. Yeah, well, no, yeah, exactly. I mean, I was trying to be nice. It's Sunday, but yeah, fuck this day. It's over. Let's fucking chill. Sun's going down. Unless you live up north where the sun doesn't go down, and then I'd be so confused. Oh, look, the sun's kind of going down. Wait, why is it going back? It's going back up. Who pushed the button? Oh, okay.
People are not up. Well, they should get up. It's not my fault
Yeah.
they're not. I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, they might work late. That's mean, Beans. No, I'm just kidding.
Then,
Just 3 hours ago. Just tell me to get up.
yeah, I think more people are maybe a little bit mumbling.
Mumbling?
Maybe a little magic.
Yeah. Well, yeah, at least we're not pushing buttons. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Some good weed this morning.
Super duper good weed. I've been hitting this reclaim and nose dabbing the reclaim, and then in order to like make sure they're not both plugged, I'll just like do a double vape quick.
Oh, okay. So that's your secret?
Well, then you just one. Yeah.
And then it clears it. So I'm saying you figure out. Yeah, I have one really blocked nostril. I don't know why, but I'll do like a nose exhale, and you see this little poof come out the one side, and the other side's like whoa, like a foghorn. You're like, oh,
that's
that's the way to describe it.
Tugboats matter too.
They do.
So anybody that wants to know that story, first of all, I have to cover the whole. There is 8 chuggas before the choo-choo. There is 8.
There's 6. 8?
There's not 6. There's 8.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Dude, 6 isn't enough to get the train over the hill.
Yeah,
chugga,
but
chugga,
how
chugga,
big is
chugga.
it? Yeah.
Chugga, 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 chugga. There's 8 chuggas before choo-choo.
I don't know, man. We're gonna have to get some fact checkers on this.
Why would there be 3 chuggas? Chugga, chugga, chugga. No, that doesn't seem right. What's everybody's? Is there 8 or 6 or 4? Is there only like chugga, chugga, choo, choo? But
now you're fucking my head up, man. I don't know now, man. I'm trying to count in my head.
I am not a train. I am a tugboat. I've tried to be a train. I cannot make train sounds.
Oh,
I make
okay.
tugboat sounds.
So does that mean I'm a bear? Because I make bear sounds?
No, I tried to go. There's 6. What? There's not 6. There's 8. Chugga, chugga, chugga. I don't know.
Yeah, we gotta check
there
it
needs
out.
to be 8. 8 is the appropriate number of chuggas to get the train over the mountain. Dang, Magic says 6 too. Oh, fucking A, I'm wrong.
I mean, we've all been wrong before.
Hey, maybe I have a smaller train.
Can we fact check the fact checkers? I'm just kidding. We need like double fact checkers. Like, yeah, their facts were good, but we went farther. We went deeper.
Do the 2. All right, let's see if I can do it. Chugga, 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 choo, choo. Yeah, it's a fucking tugboat, bro. It's not a train.
That sounds like a tugboat, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm not a train. Dang, I'm super wrong. Everybody's saying 6. Well, I'm sorry, my train isn't as powerful.
I don't know, man. Now I'm questioning everything.
What do you mean there's no set number of chuggas that come before a choo-choo? That's from Google? Well, Google's wrong as a motherfucker. There has to be rules. You can't just live in a non-limited chugga full life. That seems like a lot. That sounds stressful.
Now I want to say this.
How do I know when to choo-choo if I can chugga how many times ever I want? That doesn't seem right. Is that really what Google said? That's crazy. I don't agree with any of that.
Yeah, because it's chugga, 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 woo, woo.
Maybe that's the problem is I'm not doing woo-woo. I'm doing
You're not
choo-choo.
doing that's what I was having a problem with. I was like, okay, we got the chuggas, but it doesn't sound right. I'm missing some element. And then I was like, wait, the woo. I missed the woo-woo.
I don't know.
That's the train whistle. Train whistle goes woo-woo. Think about it.
Then why wouldn't it be wugga wugga woo-woo?
Yeah, it is.
It's not wugga. Google
No,
told
no,
me she doesn't understand.
no.
I don't understand either, Crystal. It's all way over my bachelor's degree level. That's a
Yeah,
whole
right.
can of worms, and I'm not in the fucking worm business.
Nice. There we go.
I like that one. That's not
That's
mine.
good, right?
That's for me.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
All right, we'll play a song, and then we'll jump into our this day in history. We're getting on a tangent of madness. Right, I agree, Amber. I think Google thinks I'm dumb sometimes. So it's okay.
Golden sun, rise up slow. Coffee steam in the glow. Cannabis in the haze. Start our tropic days. Morning dew on the leaves. Coconut breeze in the trees. Roasting beans, smooth and dark, lighting up a morning spark. Coffee cup to lips so high. Cannabis under azure sky. Warmth in every single ray. Tropic love in morning play. Birds sing a tender tune in the light of early June. Cannabis leaves sway in mild. Coffee aroma running wild. Percussion rhythm so sweet. Sand warm beneath our feet. Cannabis whispers in the air. Coffee heartbeat softly share. Coffee cup to lips so high. Cannabis under azure sky. Warmth in every single ray. Tropic love in morning play. Percussion rhythm so sweet. Sand warm beneath our feet. Cannabis whispers in the air. Coffee heartbeat softly share. Coffee cup to lips so high. Cannabis under azure sky. Warmth in every single ray. Tropic love in morning play.
I'm kind of ripped this Sunday morning. Man, oh man. I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning. All right. Let's see. Well, what the fuck? That's not correct. Ah. Here we go.
Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for January 12th. January 12th is the 12th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 353 days remaining to the end of the year, or 354 if it happens to be a leap year. Today's word is pulchritude. Pulchritude is a noun that refers to physical beauty or attractiveness. It's often used in a more poetic way, kind of a long way around to say that something or someone is beautiful. For example, we were taken by the pulchritude of the sunset, or the pulchritude of the ancient architecture draws thousands of visitors every year, or that photographer has quite an eye for capturing the pulchritude in everyday scenes. The word pulchritude comes to us through Middle English, originally from a Latin word that means beautiful. First known use of the word pulchritude is in the 1400s. Pulchritude. And with that, the Royal Aeronautical Society was formed in London, England on January 12, 1866. This was a little surprising to me, as aeronautics is about the study, design, and manufacture of flight-capable machines. Were they really doing that in 1866? Apparently so. Hot air balloon flight had been a thing since at least the 1780s, and there are all those drawings and studies of flying machines by Leonardo da Vinci, who lived in the late 1400s and early 1500s. The Royal Aeronautical Society. Cloning is the process of producing individual organisms with identical genomes, either by natural or artificial means. Since we're talking about an identical genome, this can take place in the plant world, for example, by any plant that can send out runners to take root and propagate itself. Anytime you take a cutting of a plant and get it to take root, that's a clone. Vining plants clone themselves all the time. Any plant that sends out rhizomes is cloning itself. Trees that sprout new trees from their own roots are cloning themselves. These are examples of natural forms of cloning. At some point, lab scientists figured out a process called somatic cell nuclear transfer as a way to clone genetic lines in animals. Some farmers and ranchers, for example, select from their healthiest and best stock and clone them. Dolly the sheep was successfully cloned in 1996, and once that was done, the idea of human cloning became a hot topic of discussion among scientists. While an exciting prospect, there are significant ethical implications, not to mention the prospect of unintended consequences. I'm sure discussion and experimentation continue, but on January 12th, 1998, 19 European nations agreed to forbid human cloning. It seems kind of late to be talking about Christmas songs here, almost the middle of January, but that's what we're going to do today. Today's song is the Chipmunk song, Christmas Don't Be Late, by Alvin and the Chipmunks and David Seville. The Chipmunk song is a novelty Christmas song written by Ross Bagdasarian under the stage name of David Seville. It was released in December of 1958, hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 on December 22nd, 1958, and we find it on January 12th of 1959 as it begins its 4th week in that number 1 spot. The Chipmunk song, Christmas Don't Be Late, was the only Christmas record to reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 until Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You displaced it 61 years later in 2019. This cheery little single ended up selling about 12 million copies, probably due in part to the fact that it re-entered the Hot 100 chart several more times around the holidays. We don't see it there again after 1962, though, because Billboard established a separate chart for recurrent Christmas songs in 1963. Dave did all the vocals himself. I'm sure there are ways to digitally alter the sound to get a chipmunk-style voice now, but in 1958, the technology was such that he got that higher-pitched sound by changing the tape speed. The Chipmunk song, Christmas Don't Be Late, by Alvin and the Chipmunks and Dave Seville. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page. It's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.
Much love, Vicki B. I love the This Day in History every morning. Thank you so much for sending it to us and letting us use it every day. It's incredible working with you. Please make sure that you're subscribed to her YouTube. Make sure that you are following This Day in History with Vicki Bowers on Facebooks. And here's the song of the day. What up, Fabi? How are you? Hello, hello, Rissa. Rissa, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Hello, hello. What's up? What's up, Fabi?
Love me some Vicki Bowers in the morning.
Oh, as soon as that song, when she showed the picture, it came into my head.
Oh, I about dislocated my shoulder. I was so excited.
Yeah. And then she had to go and mention Mariah Carey. And that just, I love you, Vicki, but no one loves Mariah Carey anymore. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. She's all right. I mean, they like her better than Nick Cannon. Sorry.
Hey, good morning, Mindy. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Yeah, no, This Day in History is awesome. I think that's amazing, honestly, about the Da Vinci drawings, man, that he had pictures of flying devices that were never actually invented yet, if you think about it. Like, and then like 300-400 years later, they start, you know what I mean? Like, I get and you know what? It's pretty cool. I think that if you look back at when the whole hot air balloon thing started, that's crazy. Hey, Beans, like when the hot air balloon thing was going, that was the 1700s, man. To me, that blows my mind that they were actually using hot air balloons that long ago. Because to me, that's a long time ago, man. You know what I mean? Like we always talk about, like she talks about, 10,000 years ago and all this other stuff. But when you talk about stuff about like aeronautical stuff and shit like that, that's incredible. They created an aeronautical group before there was flying. Before there was aeronautical things, you know what I mean? That's crazy. She made a really good point about that. It's like they made it in 1865. Like that's like they knew it was going to happen. That's crazy.
Oh,
what'd you do? Okay. Don't be pushing the wrong buttons.
All right, let's play another song and then we'll go with our morning. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday morning. Cheers, everybody.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, I didn't think I was going to pop up, but whatever.
Sunrise glow so gentle, bright. Coffee cup, my heart's delight. Cannabis mist in the air. Friends we share this morning fare. Tropical breeze whispers low. We sip slow, feel the flow. Hands we hold, a peaceful beat. Life is sweet where hearts do meet. Sunday morning, pure and free. Church bell rings in harmony. Coffee warm and glowing sun. Cannabis dreams, we've just begun. Gospel tunes we softly hum. Joyful hearts and beating drums. Tropical skies wide and grand. Together we all understand. Peaceful shorebirds take to flight. Nature paints a pure delight. Friends and laughter fill the space. In this soft and sacred place. Cannabis calm and subtle grace. Coffee warmth in our embrace. Hands circle dreams in morning light. Sunday sunrise pure and bright. Gospel tunes we softly hum, George bell rings in harmony. Coffee warm and glowing sun, cannabis dreams we've just begun. Sunrise through the palm trees, cup of coffee in my hand. Warm breeze whispers gently in this simple morning land. Smooth coffee scent rising, dark roast in my cup. Take a sip, refreshing, just can't get enough. Coffee and cannabis in the Sunday air, feeling so righteous, not a single care. Cannabis in the garden, leaves so green and bright. Smooth waves in the distance, life feels so right. Coffee grounds on the table, sugar and some cream, rolling up the green leaves in this peaceful dream. Coffee and cannabis in the Sunday air, feeling so righteous, not a single care. Cannabis in the garden, leaves so green and bright. Smooth waves in the distance, life feels so right. Coffee grounds on the table, sugar and some cream, rolling up the green leaves in this peaceful dream.
Yeah. Sunday morning slow jams. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh, man. Hope you all are enjoying your Sunday morning. I know I am. I like that rule. we watching cartoons and making pancakes. Don't bug us. Yeah, I got
Alright, I found this, Man-Bear. You guys are gonna love this, hopefully. We'll see.
What did you find?
So this is an Adam Neely. He's just, like, I've learned a fuck ton of music theory from Adam Neely. He's a Berkeley School graduate. Like, he's a bass player, piano. Anyway, and he's gonna talk about how many chuggas before the choo-choo.
Welcome to the Superfast Instagram Q&A. I hope you enjoy your stay. Superfast Instagram Q&A. This video is brought to you by Skillshare. How many chuggas before the choo-choo? So a couple of years ago on Reddit, there was this long discussion about the proper number of chuggas before you say choo-choo when you're emulating a train. This very hard-hitting discussion made it to the national news because of course it did.
How many times should you say chugga before you say choo-choo?
And there were a couple of people in the thread using Western music theory to justify their intuitions about the proper number of chuggas before you're supposed to say choo-choo. Now, personally, I am a bit of a chugga traditionalist. I think there should be 8 chuggas. Chugga, 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 choo-choo. That, my friends, is the sound of a locomotive to me. But I would also accept multiples of 2 and 4 for the chuggas. Chugga, chugga, choo-choo, while a little short, is acceptable. But, ooh, boy, does it sound wrong to me if there is a multiple of 3 involved in the chuggas. Chugga, 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 choo-choo just sounds wrong. That is a malformed locomotive. And the reason why it sounds that way to me is because it violates stress patterns. I want you guys to think very carefully about where the accent is, where the downbeat, where the stress is on these 2 words. Choo, chew. If you think the accent should be on the first of the chews, choo-choo, you think that this phrase is a trochee. Trochees are groupings of two syllables where the accent is on the first beat, musically what we'd consider the downbeat. If, God forbid, you think that the accent should be on the second chew, choo-choo, you think that this phrase is an iamb, where the accent is falling on the second of the two syllables. Shakespeare, of course, was a big fan of iambic pentameter, 5 iambs in a row. When I do count the clock that tells the time. But putting choo-choo in iambic pentameter would be really strange. Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo. It's just awkward. It's just very strange. Within the scheme of chuggas and choo-choos, if we have an odd number of chuggas, the downbeat comes on the second chew, giving us the perception of an iamb. Chugga, 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 choo-choo. 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 If there are an even number of chuggas, the downbeat goes on the first chew. Chugga chugga choo choo, chugga chugga choo choo, chugga chugga choo choo, chugga chugga choo choo, chugga chugga choo choo. So realistically, this question is a musical one. It's where you feel the downbeat, where you feel meter. Is it choo choo, which is a trochee, or is it choo choo, which is an iamb? And this question comes up actually quite a lot in music. Consider the beginning riff of War Pigs by Black Sabbath. That is a trochee, 1A. It would sound very strange if that riff was interpreted as an iamb. And 1. It doesn't have the right vibe. Songwriters, by the way, deal with this all the time, having an intimate understanding of stress pattern in language and how it might relate to music. One of my favorite examples of songwriters playing with stress patterns like this is Kanye West in that song that he did with Jay-Z.
That's great. That's correct. That's correct.
Same words, but the downbeat has been shifted. So it really just comes down to where you feel the downbeat, on the first chew or the second chew. How many cups of coffee have you drank so far today? Not enough. G-sharp 7. Ugh. That is... I'm not into it. Advice on remaining calm during improvisation, not locking limbs, etc. Breathing. People forget to breathe all the time, myself included, when I am playing, and it is so important.
Breathe in, breathe out.
It's how we keep centered. It's how we work with our bodies. Like, could you imagine a professional athlete not breathing? We are athletes of the fine muscles, as Hal Galper would say.
We're athletes of the fine muscles, not the big ones.
And musicians need that breath support in every aspect of their musicianship. Adam, why do chord loops come in bars of 2 or 4? So this is going back to the idea of stress that we were talking about. And generally speaking, we listen to music binarily, or binarily. We think ones and zeros. We think strong beats. We think weak beats. We think downbeat. We think upbeat.
Breathe in, breathe out.
The process of organizing undifferentiated beats in your brain into downbeats and upbeats is something called subjective rhythmization. It's a very interesting subject in music cognition and might not necessarily be the same in cultures from around the world. But in Western pop music, we have lots of 2 chord loops and 4 chord loops. And if you take a chord progression like this one, the first chord is probably going to be the strong chord in your brain. It is the 1, and the second chord's 0. It is on, this is off. That binary is actually really nice when we're trying to create some sense of forward momentum with these chord loops. But if you were to add a 3rd chord to this progression for a 3-bar phrase, it starts feeling a little unbalanced. They're still really nice, and I think kind of a nice way of approaching music making if you're looking for that off-kilter feeling. Yeah. Let's get off kilter.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe out, breathe in.
Advice for hearing metronome, when and how in groove with it, hear where you at. So if we go back to that analogy of musicians as athletes of fine muscles.
We're athletes of the fine muscles.
What do athletes do? Well, they watch videos of themselves play. They watch playback to better understand what they did in the past so that they can improve. I can do that by playing a simple bass line along to a metronome, record it, and pay close attention to how I feel in the moment so that I can compare it to the playback, what actually happened. So it looks like most of the downbeats are right there with it, which is great, except here where I rushed it a little bit. And I remember that hearing in the moment, I remember that I was rushing. So in the future, I kind of want to like lay back a little bit more. It's this kind of comparison of how I was feeling in the moment to what actually happened. That's very important. And that's a great way of improving your metronome skills. Record yourself to a metronome, analyze, rinse, and repeat. You are your own best teacher in this case. Did you use a Wilhelm scream sample in Sungazer's Why We Fight? I sure did. What's different between working with Sean and Josh as drummers? I don't know. They both play tastefully and also a lot of notes, but differently. I don't know. Don't make me choose. Don't make me choose between mom and dad. Hello, how to play fast bass lines. I transcribed but struggle to play. Sungazer drunk. Well, let's keep going with this athlete analogy, even though it is imperfect. Nobody expects to run a mile in under 5 minutes without a phenomenal amount of training. Say your current mile time is 10 minutes, and you get very frustrated because you can't run a mile in 5 minutes. So what do? Well, you practice slowly, and you practice deliberately. You breathe, and you make sure that all of your muscles are working in a way where you don't have to stress while you're running this proverbial 10-minute mile. And eventually, you'll get those muscles trained to the point where you can run the 5-minute mile, but it will take a moment to get there. Music rewards hard work, but it also teaches the lesson of delayed gratification. If you put in the hard work, then you'll get the reward, not at the beginning.
We're athletes of the fine muscles, not the big ones.
We are athletes of the fine muscles, not the large ones. We aren't bodybuilders, so we don't see physically a representation of all of this work. But that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. What does free-flowing syncopated motifs mean? Clarinet in Chicago jazz. This sounds like something that a music writer would throw in their article that sounds like technical jargon, but in fact is not. Free-flowing syncopated motif. I have no idea. Can I list your videos as a bibliographic source for uni? I mean, unfortunately, most colleges look at YouTube videos with a degree of suspicion, but I cite my sources in the description, which is more than like most personal blogs and a lot of news sources do. So I don't see why not. Yeah, cite my YouTube videos. How old is your real book? Wow, this bad boy. I got this in college. This is the Real Book 6th edition. It's maybe 12 years ago, 13 years ago. I got the 6th edition because actually my previous Real Book was the 5th edition, which was the illegal one. And I got that from my first bass teacher. We went to, I think it was Dale Music in Silver Spring. You had to like talk to the guy at the counter and you had to be like, oh, we want one of the real books. And they had to like go in the back room. It was so exciting for me as a middle schooler, first learning about jazz, to be like, ooh, this is this illegal thing that I get to partake in. The 5th edition and all the previous editions were illegal because none of the music was licensed, but Hal Leonard bought all the licenses and printed it as the 6th edition, which is what I have and what I continue to own. I did a video maybe 3 years ago all about the Real Book and its history. 99% Invisible did a fantastic podcast about the Real Book and its place in the jazz canon. Definitely go check that out if you ever have the option to. Where is the first place Sungazer will play post-COVID? Well, exciting news. My band Sungazer is playing a limited run of shows this summer at reduced capacity. The first place we're playing is High Watt in Nashville, but go follow us over.
Yeah, as you see, he's super interesting, but that's pretty much the end.
It's when it comes to things like playing guitar and stuff like that, it took me a really long time to like he said, to like train your muscles to like you're playing something really slow and like on purpose, and then all of a sudden you have to play something super fast. And one of the songs, everyone laughs at me about this, is I always like the intro to Thunderstruck by AC/DC, because it makes you move your fingers really fast without playing a lot of different notes. So you train your finger to move up and down the neck of the guitar. And I really would love to get into more bass playing too. I think bass is so more of the jazz style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Really good band too. Yeah, they got a good band going.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Adam Neely. Definitely check him out. He is super smart, dude.
For show.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of how I was taught guitar, was through music theory too. Like all my guitar teachers were in bands and really played guitar, and like it was really nice to actually have real musicians teaching you.
Music theory is great, man. It teaches you so much.
Learning about Lucille, BB King's guitar and stuff like that was some of our first guitar lessons and stuff. Like that was dope.
Let's play a song and we'll see where we're at with our morning speaker. I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning.
It's Sunday morning, sweet and slow. The coffee's brewing, let the good vibes flow. Friends are gathered, hearts are light. Cannabis sparks, morning feels just right.
The sun is shining, the cove's alive, sharing laughter as the moments arrive. Every smile, every story we know makes Sunday mornings
sweet and slow, sweet and slow, the way Sundays go.
Oh, sweet and slow.
Pass the peace and the coffee, let the good times grow.
Sweet and slow.
In the Cove we gather, in the light of the day. With love and laughter, we find our way.
The air is hazy, the green burns bright.
Coffee warms hands in the morning light.
Conversations flow like the ocean tide. We're all connected, no need to hide. The choir hums, the rhythm sways. Joy fills the cove in endless ways.
Every soul finds a place to grow. On Sunday morning, sweet and slow, sweet and slow, the way Sundays go.
Oh, sweet and slow.
Pass the peace and the coffee, let the good times grow.
Ooh.
Sweet and slow. In the Cove we gather, in the light of the day. With love and laughter, we find our way.
Sweet and slow, let it flow.
Feel the love, let it show.
In the Cove we'll roam right.
Sunday morning has begun. Hallelujah for the day. Sweet and slow, let's light the way.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
hope everybody's having a wonderful morning. What has everybody got going on today?
Pretty sure there's some Yerp-nanigans happening this morning. Other than that, I don't have much plans past Yerp-nanigans. Love our Sundays. Right, Beans?
Yes, Sundays are amazing. I'm just kind of seeing what I can find for
You're good.
morning speakerness.
You're good. We chilling.
Ooh.
Still got that peanut butter rockstar I'm rocking. He's good. He's good in all forms too. Joints, bowls, roaches are dangerous. Dangerous.
Yes.
Notoriously dangerous. All right. Biggie Smalls fan. Notorious. Yeah. Oh, my finger button's not working. Oh, yeah. Vicky's making the mocha. She's putting the hot chocolate in the coffee. One of my favorite things to do. That's always like cup number 5 in the morning for me. If we have hot chocolate, make a mocha. Whew.
All right, I'll play one more song and we'll do our morning speaker. Let's go with this one. Cheers, everybody.
The morning's here with skies so clear, a new beginning, no room for fear. Coffee steams and the breeze rolls in this space, let our joy begin. Cannabis flows like a sweet refrain, easing our hearts, soothing our strain. We rise together, no soul alone, in the cove where peace has grown. Lifted by the light, we rise and shine. Shine up, shine bright. A brand new day where love's divine. With friends at your side, right here by your side. We walk this path with joy as our guide. Oh joy, let it ride. The cove's a home where kindness lives, a place where every heart forgives. The brass calls out like a morning breeze, harmonies drift through the swaying trees. Cannabis lifts us smooth as the sea, setting us free, just you and me. With every sip, with every laugh, we find our way on this morning's path. Lifted by the light, we rise and shine. Shine up, shine bright. A brand new day where love's divine. Ooh, love's divine. Coffee and peace with friends at your side, right here by your side. We walk this path with joy as our guide. Oh joy, let it let's share this load. Light our way on this morning's road. Together we rise, hearts open wide. Peace and love with the sun as our guide. Peace and sunshine. Lifted by the light, we rise and shine. Shine up, shine bright. A brand new day where love's divine. With friends at your side, right here by your side. We walk this path with joy as our guide. Oh joy, let it ride. So gather around, let the spirit glow. Glow, let it glow. Together we rise, together we grow.
All right, this morning we're going to do a Simon Sinek that we haven't done before.
Hello, everyone. Coming to you all, like Kara said, from beautiful Los Angeles, California. I think we can all agree it has been an absolutely fantastic morning. And now we have a time and an opportunity for a really special keynote guest. We have the opportunity to hear from optimist and global best-selling author Simon Sinek. Simon has devoted his life to advance a vision in which the vast majority of people wake up feeling inspired, safe, and fulfilled by the work that they do. Simon is known for best-selling books, including Start With Why, Leaders Eat Last, and The Infinite Game. You may have heard his podcast, A Bit of Optimism, or seen his TED Talk on the concept of why, which has over 60 million views. Wow. Simon, thank you so much for being with us today. We are super excited to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. All right, audience, to everyone out there, I have a few questions pre-planned for Simon to get us kicked off and started in this fireside chat. But if you'd like, we'd love for you to jump in to our chat function and I'll ask Simon those questions that you guys have. All right, Simon, you ready?
Ready.
All right. 60 million views on your TED Talk is super impressive. So tell us the why behind how you started this philosophy, what your journey was, and what brought you to the concept of why.
It's a very personal story. And quite frankly, it started out of pain. I lost my passion for my work. But superficially, things were good. So I was actually quite embarrassed about saying to people, oh, I don't want to go to work anymore because everything looked fine. And so I kept those feelings to myself. And if anybody has ever been in a bad place, you know, if you keep those feelings to yourself, they grow. And that's what happened to me. And it wasn't until a dear friend of mine came to me and said, something's wrong, something's off. And having that safe container, that safe space, I came clean. It lifted a huge weight off my shoulders. And all that energy that went into lying, hiding, and faking could go into finding a solution. The solution that I found was this thing called the why. I knew what I did. I knew how I did it, but I didn't know why I was doing what I was doing. And the ability to articulate my why not only restored my passion to new levels, but the ability to help other people find their why gave me a renewed sense of purpose. And so that's what I sort of set my life and career to do.
It's absolutely amazing and special. So thank you for sharing that piece. We look forward to digging in a little bit more with it as well. And you mentioned this just a minute ago, and that was around passion. And you've been quoted as saying, working hard for something we do not care about is called stress, but yet working hard for something we love is called passion. So what are some of the maybe key principles that someone can apply to their life to make that transition from stress to passion?
I think we misunderstand what passion is. We think of it as an input. You know, it's like we only hire passionate people. Well, how do you know that they're passionate for interviewing, not so passionate for working? You know, passion is an output, not an input. It's something we feel when we are working in something we love and care about. Passion is what we feel when we work with people who we care for and care about us. It's got nothing to do with how many hours we work or how hard we work or the stress we feel. It's to do with whether all of that feels worth it, if I feel fulfilled by all of that. So passion is definitely an output, which is why it's so important to understand our why. It's why it's so important to contribute to the culture that we're working in, because we want to give to the people we work with, not just take from them. We want to work in cooperation with the people. And all of that contributes to that magical feeling of passion.
Absolutely. And it gives that community feel and peace to it as well.
Exactly.
So thank you. Well, we'll take it to Simon, some of the chat functions and the questions that the team has. And the first one comes in from Angela Monticello, and that is, Simon, what is the biggest challenge facing the business world today? And do you have any advice in overcoming it?
I think the biggest challenge we have today, it's the sort of twofold. One is, I mean, COVID definitely took us away from working together. And if camaraderie and community and all of these things matter so much to human beings, it's becoming really, really difficult for us to find that community. I think a lot of companies don't realize that working remotely and building community and trust actually requires more work, not less work. It's not just like, you know, think of it like school. You can't just have a 50-minute class and repeat, you know, all the time, and expect kids to learn as easily. You've got to change the way it works. It's the same thing here. So we think about community. Do people have the skills? Do they have the human skills to build that community, to build those relationships? Things like active listening, things like how to have an effective confrontation, things like how to give and receive feedback. These are absolutely necessary skills that we aren't learning. So I think companies have a huge opportunity to teach people those skills.
Absolutely. That's super exciting to hear. And yes, agree. So we have one from Dustin Harms, and that is, what fulfills you?
So, I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record.
That's okay.
But there's a couple things. One is I love working in teams. I love working with people. And the feeling of accomplishing something with somebody is, for me, the best. So relationship really matters. And the other thing is, I'm a sucker for people who serve those who serve others. I can be brought to tears when I hear stories of somebody who sacrificed themselves, their interests, for the good of others. So meeting those people who give and serve in work or in life, I love that. That really feeds me.
Oh, good. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. Another question, Simon, from Samuel Tenbrink, and that is, how do you deal with negative thoughts?
You allow them to happen. Okay. I think we think we have to be positive all the time. We don't. I mean, human beings are feelings. I mean, human beings have feelings. I guess that's good. Like, we are feelings. Human beings have feelings, and we can't deny those feelings. If you're sad, be sad. Allow yourself to be sad. If you're angry, allow yourself to be angry, but just label it. I'm sad. I'm angry. And I think where it becomes dangerous is when we try and suppress it and pretend that we don't have those things because we have to be happy all the time. But allow yourself to be human, I think, is the most important thing. And just be honest with yourself about how you feel.
Yeah. And does that then enable you to kind of move past it a little bit faster, or process it as you kind of acknowledge it?
The simple answer is yes. Sort of going back to my own story, the more one tries to suppress negativity, the more it feeds on itself. It's like a valve. When you let it out, it releases the pressure. Most importantly, to let it out to another human being. I think we live in this world where, people stand by themselves. Too many people stand by themselves in their rooms with their phones and make a video for TikTok and say how they're feeling. But you're in a room by yourself talking to a piece of technology. You're not actually talking to a person.
Sure.
But to have that exact same conversation with another human being where you're looking them in the eye is actually much more difficult, even if you were to say the exact same words. And I think there's awesome power in being able to share how you honestly feel with others, and that others have the skill set to hold that space, not try and fix anything.
Sure.
And I think that's the mistake we make when our friends come to us. We try and fix. Don't fix, just hold space. That's a magical thing if when you do it. Takes courage, but it's a magical thing.
Absolutely. It's special. Yes. So another question, Simon, from Shelley Bunner. How do you keep a conversation positive when those around you are negative?
So it happens a lot. And I sometimes point it out. I'm like, what's making you so negative? I never say why so negative, because it's ironically, the question why is actually, it's an emotional question. It can be perceived as aggressive. I'm like, what's making you so negative? Like, there's a lot of good things happening here. I want to know more. So replacing judgment with curiosity is one part. The other thing is to just allow them to feel that way. So it's like, oh yeah, I hear you, acknowledging the negativity, and then sort of moving on. But I also find that being focused on where the future is important. And by the way, not all negativity is bad. People who, are sometimes very often criticized at work because they're always pointing out the problems, and you hear bosses say, don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. It's like, well, if I knew the solution, I wouldn't be coming to you,
Yes.
I mean, there's two types of negative Nellies. There's one that is always negative and offers no solution and stands on the sidelines. I don't need those people in an organization.
Sure.
But the people who constantly bring problems, but they're willing to roll up their sleeves and try and find a solution, those people are extremely valuable inside an organization, because they're helping us see things, cover our blind spots that we're not seeing. And they're willing to roll up their sleeves. So not all negativity is bad. It's what we do with that negativity afterwards. We're willing to work together, or willing to just sort of lean back and lean out.
Absolutely. Well, it also kind of reminds me too around, you said the word why, right? So not pressing into that. It might be not the right one to say. So how do you then ensure that you're kind of teeing it up correctly? Because if it's not all negative and holding that space, are there any other kind of tips to ensure that you can call it out, be blunt, but yet process it well together?
I mean, again, it's not about judgment. It's about allowing somebody to be negative, but at the same time, we want to redirect, right?
Right.
Look, and like I said, I'll say it. I don't know what's making you negative.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
We in our company have a rule, which is if the reaction is above a 5, it's about something else. It's like, why did you leave the fridge open? It's like, clearly not about the fridge.
Right.
You always leave the fridge open. Okay.
Yeah.
Do not react about the fridge.
Sure. Absolutely.
So it's the same thing. We find that in work. Like people sometimes get very amped up about something, and you sort of pay attention, like that reaction to what we're talking about don't match. This is about something else.
Yeah.
And this is where good leadership and good human skills come into play, which is, are you able to read the room and figure out what's going on here? Are they having a bad day? Is there something else? Or is there something that I don't know about the work that we're doing that I can easily help address and fix? Or did somebody just hangry or tired, and that's okay too?
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I love the question of tell me more.
Yeah.
Because it opens the door to just that.
Tell me more, go on, what else? Those are 3 magical things to say.
Those are great questions to have in your back pocket.
Absolutely.
Okay, Simon. So another one coming in from Megan Longhurst. And Megan says, how do you not let other people's negative energy or negative kind of context affect you?
That's their story. And I say that it's their story. I have my life. I have doing my things, and but I don't let other people's negativity affect me because it's their life, it's their story. I don't know what's going on.
Sure.
Now, if it's a close relationship, clearly, and someone's in your space, or you have a close working relationship with somebody, and somebody's in your space, and clearly they're negative, but you can address that. Again, this goes back to those human skills. I love how we keep coming here, which is so many of us, companies so rarely teach us the human skills of how to have difficult conversations. So if somebody is constantly negative and it is actually bringing you or the team down, how do you address that without making it overly aggressive? How do you address that in a way that they will hear you? And so the ability to say, I need to have a difficult conversation with you. In Thursday's meeting, you were so negative. It brought the team's energy down. And I fear that if you continue to bring that negative energy to all of our meetings, that it's going to demoralize the team. And then learn to be quiet and allow somebody to soak that in. Like that interaction, we don't teach that. And so usually it comes out wrong, and usually it escalates, or usually we avoid it. We get passive aggressive at work as well. And so things never get addressed. But I think learning the skills of difficult human interaction, but by the way, human interaction is very often difficult, is a massive opportunity for corporate America today.
Absolutely. And I love how you say, I feel that if we, and it really kind of maybe de-escalates things a little bit and allows for that open conversation.
And if somebody gets defensive, like, I didn't do that, I'm like, I didn't say you did. I'm telling you how I feel.
Absolutely.
Right. My feelings are valid,
Yes, they are. So another question from Christina Testa, and that is, what's the most inspirational experience you've ever had?
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I've had the most inspirational experience. For me, again, it's seeing other people light up. I get inspired when I hear stories of people who've maybe used my work to start a business or profoundly turn their lives around. Where people take risk and are willing to work together to do difficult things, those stories inspire me. In terms of my own personal experience, I do a lot of work with the military, and the opportunity to spend time with people who have devoted their lives to service. I get very, very inspired when I spend time with them.
Oh, fascinating. Absolutely. Thank you. Another one in from Alexandria Turquist. What are your top 3 tips for leadership?
So these questions come up a lot, and you said there's articles written about this, like, what are the 3 most important characteristics of a leader? Vision, charisma, and I've met some wonderful, fantastic leaders who are not big Steve Jobs visionaries.
Sure.
And I've met some amazing leaders who don't seem to have sort of that bounce off the wall charisma. They're sort of the quiet one sitting in the corner. I am comfortable saying, however, that great leaders, the best leaders I've ever met, they will have courage. Leadership is extremely difficult. Sometimes it's thankless, it's lonely. When things go right, you have to give away the credit. When things go wrong, you have to take all the responsibility. Well, that sucks. And it's sometimes the gains are sometimes not immediate. And it takes tremendous amount of courage to lead. What's more, we talk about integrity. I think integrity takes courage, to speak truth to power, to do the right thing in the face of overwhelming pressure to do the opposite. All of these things take courage, which I think begs the question, then where does courage come from? I don't believe that courage is an internal fortitude where you dig down deep and find the courage. I think courage is external. It's like, a world famous trapeze artist has the courage to try a brand new death-defying act for the first time with a net.
Good morning, Angela. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. We're just hanging out doing our morning speaker. This is a really fucking good one. Simon Sinek.
Try it without the net. It's the net that gave them the courage. And I think so too is it for human beings, that the quality of our relationships give us courage. You talk to folks in uniform who do heroic things. They'll never say it was for God or country. It was for the person to the left or the person to the right. It was the quality of the relationships. And so for us to build courage, what we have to do is invest in relationships. Because when you're facing a very difficult situation, an ethical challenge, a work challenge, whatever it is, all we need is one person in our lives who says, I've got your back. I believe in you. You have to do this. It's the right thing to do. And if everything goes sideways, don't worry, I'll be there with you. I mean, even just talking about it, you feel like you have renewed energy. And so if you have one person in your life who can provide that for you at work or at home, you'll be amazed the amount of courage you have to do the right thing and to lead.
Oh, I love hearing all of that. And yes, you can kind of feel it as you just listen to you say it. Pfizer has 4 core values, and one of them happens to be courage. And so it's a great encouragement for our core value and courage. Another question coming in from David Rodriguez, and that is, what steps do you take to make yourself better?
So I love the idea of learning. And so first of all, to make yourself better, you have to recognize that you're not an expert in anything. I'm an expert in nothing. I'm a student in the things that I do. And I may be a more advanced student than some people, but there's always more to learn. So number one is I never think of any ceiling. I always think of the opportunity for constant learning. And 2, I like being the idiot in the room. Like, I like spending time with people who are smarter than me and don't feel the need to compete against them or prove that I know as much or more than they do. In fact, I'm very open about it. And it kind of goes when we talked about our feelings, when you sort of say, sort of, I'm sad, I'm angry, the ability to put that out there, the ability to put out in the room, you guys know more than I do, or I'm the idiot here. It actually provides relief to you. Forget about them. It provides relief to you that you can be the idiot in the room and you can soak in new information. So it's one of my favorite things to say to people, which is, you know more about this than I do, because it's a relief for me. It lets me off the hook that I've got nothing to prove. So it's a lot of it is mindset, the mindset of learning.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, thank you. So Simon, a question from Carlos Flores. Who is your inspirational mentor?
So I have a couple. There's a guy by the name of Bob Chapman, who I wrote about in my book, Leaders Eat Last. I met Bob and I visited his factories and was profoundly moved by what he's building at his company, Barry Waymiller. And just by dumb luck, I've become friends with Bob and he's become an incredible mentor for me. Become an incredible mentor for me. And the other one is a guy by the name of Ron Bruder. Who has believed in me since the beginning. And this is what I've learned about mentors. A lot of companies have mentor programs, which I think is funny. I don't think you can assign someone to be a mentor. I think for me, a definition of a mentor is someone who always has time for you. And so these people who are way more accomplished than I am, or I was at the time especially, I would call them up and they had time for me. I don't know. They saw something in me. Maybe they saw themselves in me. I don't know. And not everybody has time for us. Those people won't be your mentors. And a great mentor relationship, both parties are actually learning, because mentors you'll find learn from the experience as well. So it's not like this wise old person sitting on high dispensing advice, but rather they come with a sense of curiosity as well, which is why they always have time for you.
Oh, that's wonderful and special, and a great reminder when it kind of goes both ways in a mentorship capacity. So thank you.
Yeah.
A question in from Michael Martin. What do you do to refresh yourself?
It's not that different than other people. Taking breaks.
Okay.
I mean, I believe, there's this great story of two lumberjacks, and every morning they start chopping wood at the same time, and every day they stop chopping wood at the same time. And every day, one of the lumberjacks disappears for about an hour in the middle of the day, and every day he chops more wood than the other lumberjack. This goes on for months. Then finally, the one who works all day stops and says, I have to ask you, every day we start at the same time. Every day we stop at the same time. Every day you disappear for an hour in the middle of the day. Every day I work more hours than you, and every day you chop more wood than me. Where do you go for that hour?
Yeah.
And the other lumberjack looks up and says, oh, I go home and sharpen my axe. And so I'm a great believer in taking breaks. I'm a great believer in turning off. And most of us don't know how to take vacation. We telecommute from a beach. That's not taking a vacation. That's bringing work with you to your family's vacation. So I'm a great believer that when you have a weekend or a week off, turn off. Obviously there's work to do sometimes, and sometimes it's imperfect. That's okay. But where we literally have never taken a vacation, I think that's unhealthy. So even if it's just a day off, taking Friday off, I think that's a good thing.
The critical piece.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And is there any way that you're able to disconnect? Do you leave the phone behind? What are your kind of tips when you're on vacation to truly check out?
I don't take my computer with me.
Okay.
And I don't like answering emails on a phone. I find it annoying. So I don't take a computer with me, so I don't even have the temptation. And I tell everybody, if there's an emergency while I'm gone, figure it out. And what you find is that it's incredibly empowering for a leader to say to their team, you got this. There are very, very, very few problems that will come up that require me and only me to input. And it's very empowering for a team to know that they're responsible while the boss is away.
Absolutely. Freeing for you and empowering for them.
Exactly.
So a win-win.
It's a win-win.
Yes, I love it. All right.
Goes back to courage, right?
You got to have the courage.
Have just like, all right, okay, I'm not going to be involved in this. Yeah.
Both ways.
Both ways, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Simon. So from Kristen Davis, what books or podcasts do you utilize to help grow you as a person and as a leader?
So I've been pretty open about this. I actually struggle to read. I have ADHD, and so paying attention to books has actually been very difficult. Everybody thinks I'm like this big reader that reads hundreds of books a year. I don't. I've written more books than I've read. But I do like learning. And so the way I learn is from listening. So conversations with people who are smarter than me, being that student, always having a student mindset. I'm insatiably curious about what makes other people tick. So insatiable curiosity in conversations, but I like documentaries as well. And so two documentaries that I would recommend, which are fantastic for sort of leadership education. One of them is Senna, Senna, which is about race car driver Ayrton Senna. Even if you're not into Formula One racing, it's still a brilliant documentary, and it's still very enjoyable. But basically, it highlights these two archetypes: Senna, who drives for passion, and Alain Prost, who drives for the numbers. And if you compare that to our modern day, who's driven by the end of year goal, the quarterly goal at any cost, versus who's the person who does it for the love. And you start to see how Senna commands tremendous love and loyalty from the other drivers who are competing against him, but they support him, where nobody likes Prost. And you start to see these two archetypes, and it asks the simple question: who do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to live one of passion or one obsessed with numbers? And it puts it out there. The other one is Kumare, Kumare.
Okay.
It wasn't supposed to be a leadership documentary, but it ends up being a great leadership documentary of a documentarian who sets out to sort of mock the sort of guru culture. I won't give anything away, no spoilers here, but let's just say something goes wrong.
Okay.
And it's actually quite interesting.
Fascinating. And in the race car, when you talked about kind of the passion and then versus the numbers, do you see your kind of concept of stress versus passion play out in that as well, and those kind of principles as well?
Without a doubt. I mean, the joy that comes from doing something for the love of it, and ultimately, Senna's still a high-performing race car driver. He still wins a lot of races.
Sure.
You know, when you do something with joy, you are a high performer. And when you're only doing it for the number, you're only doing it for the result, you know, there's some unethical behaviors that start to creep in. This is what Prost was accused of, which is running other drivers off the road because he needed the points. And so you start to sort of look at our own work, the people who are only obsessed with numbers, you know, it creates some unethical fuzziness sometimes.
Sure.
And so I think when you do something for joy, it's amazing how we become better performers, but also better performers, like more honest performers.
Oh, that's great. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, Simon. Angela Gaffey asks a question around, would you rather ask for permission or just ask for forgiveness afterwards?
I mean, that's an easy one.
No brainer.
Yeah, I've said sorry a lot. I've recognized and learned that if I ask to do something that's new or unconventional, I'll get a lot of resistance, not because they don't agree, it's because they're afraid of the result. And if I'm willing to take all the accountability, I'll give you one silly example. You know, I published a book called Together is Better, which looks like a children's book, but it's for adults. And I did some very new and different things in that book that the publisher was very reticent to do. But I sort of went forwards anyway. And it ended up being this magical little book that no one ever thought it would be. And because they all ignored it, the funny thing is it debuted on the New York Times bestseller list and nobody knew because no one was paying any attention to the silly little book. But yeah, I don't mind helping clean up the mess that I make, but I definitely want to drive forwards and try new things. I love experimenting. And I also know, I think people who like to experiment, you have to recognize that things don't always go well. And when you experiment, you have to take accountability. And when you experiment, things do fail. That's the whole point of experimentation. Because if you want everything to go right, that's when you play it safe. So yeah, I'm totally fine asking for forgiveness.
That's great. And a New York Times bestseller, Simon, does not sound like a silly little book.
Oh, it is a magical little.
That's wonderful.
I'm very proud of that book, and I wrote it specifically to be given away. You know, the opening on the first page, it says to : from : so it's literally a book that you give to people you want to inspire or to thank people for inspiring you.
Oh, how special. That's a gift. Absolutely.
Literally.
It is. All right, Simon. So Nicole DeCourcy asks, what was the last straw that made you think to yourself, I have to make a change and figure out my why and get out of my current situation?
So, I mean, I went back to that experience I had many years ago where it was darkness that made me realize I had to make a change. And I think that's very common for people who are in dark spaces. You realize if I'm at a fork in the road, I either have to affect change or I don't know how this plays out, but it's not good. You know, and I think a lot of people have faced that fork. And again, I was very lucky. I had a friend there to hold space for me, which gave me courage. Goes back again to friendship. But if we sort of take it to something more recent, you know, for example, I didn't write anything during COVID, and everybody was like, "Oh, did you use the time during COVID to write a book?" And the answer is no. I can't write that way. I need human interaction, and so it was a creative, you know, sort of cemetery for me. There was no big ideas, nothing worth writing about anyway. And I don't believe in writer's block. I believe that you're in the wrong environment for creativity to happen. And so I think a lot of people, when they run out of ideas or they get stuck, they blame themselves. I don't. I blame my environment. And so that's easy to change because it can't change me, but I can change my environment. And so, for example, this year I wasn't having any ideas and I tried different things and it wasn't working. And so I took a risk and I moved to another country for 11 weeks. I moved to the UK for 11 weeks for no other reason than to shake things up and see what happens. And the ideas bubbled. It was absolutely wonderful. So I'm a great believer in changing your routine, doing something different, putting your desk in a different way. You know, start inviting a friend over. I've done this one as well. A friend who is in a completely different line of business, who has nothing to do with what I do, because so many of us are working from home by ourselves. Find another friend who works from home by themselves, who might be in a completely different company, work together and simply sit in a room together. It's amazing what happens, the ideas that flow, and just having a work buddy. Things like that. Experiment with entirely new, different ways of working. Not all of them will work, and you find the one that works for you. And when that stops working, you try something new again.
Absolutely.
Hey, good morning, Brad. How are you, bro? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. We're just hanging out doing our Cove TV morning speaker assignments.
I love that piece. And it sounds like it can be a small change, a small tweak to a big change to move to the UK.
To move to the UK for a few weeks, yeah.
Absolutely. What this is from Amy Hajaku, and that is, what's your greatest fear?
I guess it sounds silly, but I think my greatest fear is that my luck will run out. You know, I'm happy-go-lucky, and you know, people say you make your own luck. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I mean, I've been very, you know, my work has gone on longer than I expected it had. It has, you know, than I expected it would, rather. You know, when I wrote Start With Why, I thought, okay, I'll probably get 3 years out of this, maybe 5 at the most, and then it'll be over, and it just keeps going. So I'm very grateful for that.
Absolutely. Well, we are too. So Simon, we've got another question from Marie Letisa, and that is, you spoke about your mentors previously. How do you express gratitude towards those that have poured into you?
Oh, literally, I call them up and say thank you. I mean, that's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
I make a point of saying thank you to people when they least expect it. I like the telephone, you know, picking up the phone and calling someone, saying, hey, I don't think I've told you this in a while, but I'm really, really grateful for what you've given me. You know, some of them are good at receiving compliments and gratitude, and some of them aren't, and they deflect. But no, I'm a great believer that, you know, send a card to someone, you know, so just say, and I think we're all guilty of this, which is we don't call people sometimes who we miss or who we love, because you're like, oh, I want to talk to them for a sizable period of time, and I'm either too tired or the time zones don't work out, and you know, I couldn't find an hour, and I've made that mistake. But sometimes calling someone up and saying, I only have 5 minutes, you know, I'm running to a meeting, but I just wanted to say thank you to you. You're on my mind, and I just want to say thank you. It goes a long way. It's
such a great tip for life. Absolutely agree. I've made that same mistake before, and so thank you for that encouragement. One more question, Simon, and that is, if you had to say kind of like what you most admire in an amazing leader, what are those characteristics, and what would that be?
So we talked about courage, but somebody who stays true to vision, I find very impressive. You know, I meet a lot of people who talk about vision and cause, but when they face the slightest pressure, they veer, or they face a difficulty, they change strategies. I have a lot of respect for people who are very, very cause driven. I mean, a lot of the leaders that we celebrate, whether you like their personalities or not, you know, your Steve Jobs and Elon Musk's and, you know, Richard Branson's, I mean, they're very fixated on where they're going, this idealized sense of the future, and they're going to stay on that. They're going to stay on that path. We can debate whether there are better ways that they could do it, or, you know, the cultures they create around them. But I have a lot of respect for people who have vision and stick to it. It takes a lot of grit.
Absolutely. A lot of grit is right. So, Simon, you balance your time really well, and Mickey Boyce has noticed that as well, and has asked you, how do you do that? How do you balance your time so well?
Believe it or not, I use my schedule. I mean, I'm a slave to my schedule like so many other people, and I open my schedule and I go, okay, that's my week.
Yes.
And so I literally build the balance in. I will block off an entire Friday, for example, and though I will work on Fridays, no one is allowed to schedule anything on a Friday. So I've no pre-scheduled anything on a Friday. And that allows me to have creative time, but it allows me to build in that balance. And I've been doing that for years, and it wasn't necessarily a whole Friday. Sometimes it was a few hours. So between these hours and these hours, you know, this hour and this hour, I wouldn't schedule anything, and I was protective of it. So for example, and like we think of things like working out, you know, we think of these things as flexible, or we put in creative time, we think of it as flexible, and somebody says, oh, can I see you at 3 o'clock? And you look in your calendar and, you know, 3 o'clock was your workout, or 3 o'clock was your creative time. And you go, yeah, I can do 3. And I say, oh, sorry, I have something else at 3. What, you know, do you have any other options?
Yeah.
I am very protective. Now, it's not ideal. Sometimes if it's very important, of course, I can make the shift. But I'm really protective of those blocks that I block out for working out or for creative time. They're not available. They don't have to know why I can't see them.
Sure.
You know, I don't think anybody wants to know I can't meet with you because I'm working out, but sometimes that's what it is. I'm just really protective of those times.
Well, that's an important piece, to be that protective of you and your time. So outstanding balance.
And even if it's just an hour a week.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Simon, thank you so much for your time. It has been an absolute joy and privilege. And I know I've loved it. I know the audience back at home has as well. So thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you and the important value of your time. And thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was fucking dope.
I
love Simon Sinek. He's fucking genius.
He is genius. I did write a couple of things down as usual because I was almost didn't, but Simon started talking about stuff from one of our last speakers that was pretty much the last speaker just called make lists, which is how what he's talking about, like scheduling his day. And one of the last things I said is, even if you schedule or have a day, I love how he said he has a day where it's an unscheduled kind of work day. Like he knows he's going to be working and doing stuff, but it's not scheduled how every other 6 days or 5 days of his work week are, because that lets you free to do what you really need to get done. Or even if you don't work, if you need to rest that day, you have an open schedule. Like he said,
Absolutely.
you have to stick to your workout, your morning routine cannot change too much next to emergency situations, because that's how you get into that flow state, how you get to, you know, he had what was that one video she first talked about, had 60 million views. Well, whatever this guy is doing, he's doing it right.
Yeah,
read
absolutely.
his books. Listen to this man. Read his books.
Good morning, Linda. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Yeah, he's great. I have always been a big fan of Simon Sinek. He is very, very smart. And I just love how he explains things. And yeah, he's a fucking genius, man. But like Sundays, that's the day that I know I got to do morning show, your Manigans, the afternoon show. If I'm up for the Europe away, I try to make it to the Europe away. But like other than that, like I work on what I can throughout the day.
Like it's hard to set a defined schedule for some people because of outside.
Hey, good morning, Boxman Bame. How are you, brother? Hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Some people have a hard time setting a set schedule because of the people around them have a negative influence on them, and they have a hard time setting a schedule because there's other factors that we don't know about. Like he said, when I cancel on you because I'm working out at 3 p.m., you don't need to know that. You know what? It might not be me working out. It might be me going to a movie and, you know, eating a bunch of Sour Patch Kids and watching a movie by myself because that's my chill time. I'm not going to change that for you. No offense. I'm not, because when you start changing your schedule for other people, it becomes their schedule. You start living your life to other people's schedules, which you cannot do.
I agree with that in a sense, but at the same time, like I'm very like on, you know, like I'm all about honesty and be like, hey man, you know, like I would love to, but like I'm busy working out because this is the reason. And if you can't understand that, then that's your problem. But I do understand what you're saying, like, oh man, I can't come hang out. My fucking hemorrhoids are super active. You know what I mean? Like there are some things that you don't need to talk about.
That's what he's saying. He's saying like he's not going to tell people, oh, sorry, that's my pharmacist appointment to deal with that rash I got last weekend.
Yeah,
from that
for real.
party. You know, like it's but, like you said, if you're going to tell people what you're doing, just make it kind of aloof. Like, oh, I'm sorry, 3 o'clock's usually my workout time. How's 4? So segue to it. You know,
I know that a lot of people probably would disagree with me, but I feel like an explanation is everything. You know what I mean? And so even if the least that you can do is explain yourself, and I know a lot of people will be like, well, I don't feel like I have to explain myself. And like, I get that. You can have that opinion, and that's wrong. That's not wrong. Like that's totally okay to be like that. But I just feel like if I was in that situation and I was like, what the fuck? The least I would want is an explanation. But like, not like, I don't like that. Like, it sounds bad in that phrasing. But like,
but
hey, here's what came up. This is why I can't. I'm sorry. Whatever. Like, that's the least that I would want in that situation is, hey, I didn't mean to bail on you, or I didn't mean to, it's not fuck you for real.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think that's some people's problem is some people that have a negative mindset think that you're just saying you can't do it at that time because you're saying F you, but you're saying, hey, I got to go to the gym. But really, you're just sitting at home watching The Simpsons when you could have been, and that's where it's a 50-50. I honestly, it's going to be a weird reference, but I reference it to buying weed out of a dispensary. It's 50-50. A lot of the stuff here, it's in sealed containers. I don't get to touch and smell it. I don't know if it's going to be good. So it's the same with people's attitudes towards how you meet and deal with them. Is you don't know if they're going to be positive towards what you have to say with them, or they're going to be negative. You don't know if they're going to be paranoid or suspicious or anxious, or just a happy, positive person. I
like how he and one of the other speakers speaking speeches that he did. He was talking about empathy and talking about probably fuck that dude that like cut you off or was kind of short and rude with you. I don't know, whatever. Like that person who was rude at you at the store. But I mean, like, who knows? Like, he could have a sore on his foot that's driving him crazy, and it hurts so bad to be standing. And he's not trying to be mean or rude, but it's just all he can muster out because it fucking, and like it was an accident. Yeah, I don't know. You never know. You don't fucking know.
This is the last speech the last speaker I think I have written down, because one of the things I have written down is you got to separate your requirements from your preferences. Your requirements are what you need on a day-to-day basis.
I think that was a Dr. Scott.
It was what you need for your day-to-day or your week-to-week, as opposed to what you want. Preferences are what you want. Requirements are what you actually need to fully function as a.
That was either a Dr. Scott or a Dr. K.
But you know what I'm saying, right? Your requirements are what you need to be healthy. Like the one thing is, breakfast hygiene is so important, and people forget about that.
Well, and like I talked about it before, and like people gonna be people, and life is gonna life, and so like try not to let. I'm not gonna say don't let, but like try not to let shitty people who are doing shitty things affect your day, because it's really hard not to. But I mean, like people say and do fucked up things for no reason sometimes, and like. It doesn't mean anything. It's just people are dumb.
Well, do you want to know the hardest thing about being somebody who does talk to people on shows like this and stuff, and tries to give advice that comes from our own life experiences? I can give you advice when you tell me what your problems are, or give you suggestions or stuff, but I may not be able to follow the advice that I'm giving you, because your situation may not work for me, or my advice that I give you might be great advice, but my thing that I struggle with this is I have a hard time following my own advice, because I'm a person looking at your problem from an outside perspective. So I'm an unbiased, person looking at it going, well, I'm not looking at it emotionally. Sorry.
I do not like the word advice. Feels very like me telling you what to do. I just feel like, I just don't like that word. It's very like, this is what you should do, and I don't like that. I No, I know. I'm just saying, like, in the general perspective, not like, that's why it's like, what I would do in that situation.
That's what I mean.
I get what you're saying, but it's just like, generally speaking, in the English language, I don't like the word advice.
So, okay, here, let me read. If I give advice from my own life experience, I know that it might be biased if I'm talking about myself, but I'm talking about something you talk to me about. It's unbiased, because I'm not looking at your situation in an emotional state. I'm looking at your situation from a person who's talked to other people in maybe certain situations, go, oh, well, you know what? I seen someone in this habit. This might work for you. Or, like with Dr. K's, it's not answers, it's questions and curiosity, not judgment, right? We're not trying to find answers, because I don't have answers. I have conversations like we have, right?
Well, like when I think of like the term of like advice, like I'm not giving nobody advice. Like I'm not in a position to give my fucking self advice, but like I have no problem being like, this is what I would do. But
The only reason why I say I do give advice is because people ask me for, what do you think?
Well, right. No, I know what you mean.
When people, no, and I, like I say, and I don't tell people, you're right. It's not a telling people what to do. It's a, what do you think? Is the way you
Right.
word, the way you talk to people. Because when you come at people in a certain way, some people's brains don't click into, you're not trying to be rude. Like canceling your 3 appointment because you're going to the gym. Well, so what? You can work out at 5. That's one person's reaction. Is so what? Go work out at 3:30. Our meeting's 15 minutes long. What you don't understand is how he built himself up, his business,
Right.
whatever he did was because he was canceling on you. 20 different people got that cancel. Not just you. He canceled on 20 other people that tried to set up a 3 appointment with him.
Well, not only that, but like that person, you're just like the 17th person that has canceled on him. And so like, it's nothing new to him. And he's just like, you know, and so you never know. But
it's about diffusing too, about like him realizing what's important and what's not, is what he was also talking about, is you have to realize what's good for you and what's not. Again, back to negative can be good. You know, it's like not about suppressing your emotions. It's about dealing with,
like you were saying about like, it's okay to not be okay. Like if you're sad or mad, like do that. Like it's not, there's nothing wrong with that.
Definitely something I try to instill in my children is do not hold your emotions back, because then it makes us as parents harder to deal with. Last thing, sorry, I know I'm rambling. Sorry.
No, we're good. It is about that time though. Yeah. We'll go ahead and say our farewells and smoke one more, and catch you guys at the Shenanigans.
Yes, and I will definitely be there. I am in such a great mood. Amazing morning speaker. Thank you, Beanz. I know you dropped at least one new track today. I absolutely love all the music. Thank you so much, Beanz. Much love, everybody. I love our Chillin Sunday mornings next to Tuesday night. This is my absolute favorite day. Make sure you spread some love and positivity. Do something nice for a stranger, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Much love, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It has been a wonderful, wonderful morning. I hope to see everybody at the Shenanigans. If I don't see you at the Shenanigans, I'll see you at the Sir Copslot show this afternoon. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's been a wonderful, wonderful Sunday morning. I do love all the new music. It's very spiritually Cove. And I do have a raffle open on the Cove page. It is for 2 pendants, handmade custom pendants made by Vicki B, and earrings, a set of earrings. It is $5 a spot. There's 10 spots. There's 8 open now. So, well, I haven't checked it, but I'll check it after the show. But as of this morning, whatever, there's 8 open. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. Once it's filled, we'll spin it live on one of the shows. Make sure that you're following everybody on the Cove TV production team from the Cove page itself. Thank you to everybody that helps support the Cove. Cove TV is brought to you guys by viewers like yourselves. Sir Copslot, much love, Copsy. It was weird not streaming to your page this morning, but we appreciate everything. It's time to build the Cove back up now. Fuck Facebook. Make sure you're following your entertainment. Make sure that you are getting in that Europe away. You have time. And I hope to see you at the Europe Shenanigans. That's only on Europe's page too. Make sure you're following Man-Bear and checking out all his daily reels he's putting out. Kelsey Dab is still sleeping. Make sure you're following the Dabber Chick. Make sure you're following Magic from Mad Productions. Checking out his new music. He did just drop a couple new tracks. So much love, everybody. I hope to see everybody later this morning. Now, again, then, here. Past, present, future. I don't fucking know. I'm going to play this song again. This was the first song I played this morning, but much love, everybody. Thank you all so much for everything that you fucking do for not only us, but for each other, everybody else in the community. It's not just about the Cove. It's about everything. I've always said 2 fucking bulldozers will move more dirt side by side than nose to nose. So support everybody, support each other, support yourself. Support. And thank you for the support. Much love.
Each voice in the Cove, a light that shines. A tapestry woven through shared designs. Every comment, every laugh, a third unique. You're the heart of this place, the soul we seek. Without your spark, it wouldn't feel whole. You bring the rhythm, you bring the soul. In this Cove, with feet in the sand, together we rise, Together we take this stand. Coffee brews as the morning glows. Cannabis sparks where the calmness flows. Connections build a shared embrace. Community thrives in this sacred space. Sip the warmth, let the rhythm start. Feel the peace within your heart. A bond so strong, a joy so true. Coffee, cannabis, and community too. The Cove's alive with love and light. A family bound by vibes so bright. Through every show, our spirits grow. A bond unshaken, a truth we know. We've built a haven, a sacred space, where laughter and kindness fill every place. With every smile, our roots run deep. In the Cove, our love is ours to keep. Coffee brews as the morning glows. Cannabis sparks where the calmness flows. Connections build a shared embrace. Community thrives in this sacred space. Community thrives in this sacred space.
Much love, everybody. Catch you guys. And nanigans.